horrors took place in concentration camps during the World War II. This is the story of Eva and Miriam Kaur, 6-year-old twins living in the small village of Ports when the Hungarians took over Transylvania. During the following 4 years of Hungarian occupation, from 1940 to 1944, rumors started spreading. Jews were being taken to Germany and murdered. They ended taking the whole family, the only Jewish family in the village of Ports. Despite all the efforts to comfort the children, they were terrified of what the future awaited. They knew it couldn't be good. Eva and Miriam arrived at Auschwitz with their mother, father, and 2 older sisters in May 1944, after spending 4 days packed in a cattle car with thousands of other Jews being transported to the camp from Romania. No food, no water, no hope. Wooden barracks in the horizon, tall barbed wire fences, guards in towers, dogs, Nazis. It didn't take long until they realized where they were. Numbers were branded in their arms right after they ripped the family apart. Since Eva and Miriam were twins, the girls were selected as part of a group of children used in experiments under the direction of Dr. Joseph Mengele, who conducted genetic experiments with children. Mengele searched for the secrets of heredity. The Nazi ideal of the future would benefit from the help of genetics. If a so-called Aryan woman would assuredly give birth to twins who were sure to be blonde and blue-eyed, the future could be saved. Mengele believed that twins held these secrets, and Auschwitz seemed the best location for such research because of the large numbers of available twins to use as specimens. Approximately 1,500 sets of twins were subjected to these experiments, and most died from them. Each morning at 6 o'clock, the twins were required to report for roll call in front of their barracks for inspection. Despite the fact Mengele was known to appear with pockets full of candy and chocolates, his actions were evil, and many of the twins that we experimented on weren't sure of the purpose of the experiments, or exactly what was being injected, removed, or done to them, just like guinea pigs in the lab. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the twins were forced to undress and lie next to each other. Then every detail of their anatomy was carefully examined and measured for several hours. What was the same was deemed to be hereditary, and what was different was deemed to be the result of the environment. Blood tests included mass transfusions of blood from one twin to another. Various surgeries were performed without anesthesia, including organ removal, castration, and amputation. There were many other experiments taking place in the camp, like germ warfare experiments, but most of them were attempts to make blue-eyed blondes in multiple numbers. Many twins who did not have blue eyes had something injected in their eyes that caused severe pain, infections, and temporary or permanent blindness. Injections into the spine and spinal taps were given without anesthesia. Diseases, including typhus and tuberculosis, would be purposely given to one twin and not the other. When one died, the other was often killed to examine and compare the effects of the disease. After one of these injections, Eva became severely ill with a high fever. Her limbs were swollen and she had red spots all over the body. Mengele looked at the fever chart and declared she had only 2 weeks to live. She refused to die, making a silent pledge to later prove Mengele wrong. She knew Miriam's life depended on hers. After 2 weeks between life and death, her fever broke and she felt stronger. Eva and Miriam managed to survive the medical experiments and the last-ditch efforts by the Nazis to exterminate the prisoners of Auschwitz before it was liberated by Allied forces. At the age 11, their childhood was lost in Auschwitz forever. Dr. Mengele fled and ended up dying in 1979 in Brazil under a false name. justice was made.
Job's done.